Hi, my name is Grace, and I am a fourth year second grade teacher. I absolutely love my job, and I love this time of year. I find that fall time has so many fun activities for my students, so many great read alouds, and we have just been enjoying all of it. The first thing I want to talk about that I've done in my classroom is a product I created called Seasonal Symmetry. What happens is I give my students a page where they only have half of a picture, and their job is to make it symmetrical. So to complete the picture by making the other side look the same as the left side that they can see. This is really fun for them. I first have us read a story called Seeing Symmetry, and this book is really great about highlighting that there are things that are symmetrical all around us, in nature, in logos, in items they use at their house. And so we kind of prime our imaginations for seeing symmetry at the first of the year. And then we do a symmetry page for back to school, and now we're doing one for fall. And my students keep asking, like, will we have one for Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter? And the answer is yes. And they just love these pages, and it's fun to see them kind of embrace the challenge of trying to make things symmetrical. So we did one for fall, and it was really fun to see them attempt to draw pumpkins and leaves and corn and all sorts of things. And they were kind of complimenting each other like, wow, yours was really symmetrical, way to go, which is really cute. Another great thing that we had the opportunity of doing in my classroom is there's a grant in my school district for artists to come and teach my students a class. And so last year, we obviously had to have these art lessons done virtually, but this year she was actually able to come into the classroom, which was really fun. And the kids got to play with clay and create little clay creations. And so the artist first showed us some of her really fun clay creations. So she'd made a baby Yoda and a turtle and food items, and it was really fun for them to be inspired by her work. And then they got to dream up what they wanted to create with clay, and they got to choose a couple of colors of clay and then go back to their desk and start making their creations. And she was really good about encouraging them and giving them tips and tricks, and I was really impressed with their designs and their creativity. And then she was able to bring a special oven for cooking the clay, so that at the end of the day, they got a little plastic baggie with their creation all hard, and so it wasn't as fragile. And it was really fun for them to see themselves as artists. And it was really, really a great activity, super engaging for my students. Another creative fall activity that we did was learning about spiders, which is always fun because it's a pretty polarizing topic. Either students love spiders or they hate them. I tend to not be the biggest fan of spiders, but it is always fun to increase their knowledge about the world, and it's fun for them to be able to now know that spiders are not insects but arachnids because they have 8 legs. And so my students were telling me that they were telling their families about how spiders were arachnids and giving them spider facts, which is so great. And so we got to make spider webs with yarn and pipe cleaners, and then I had plastic spiders that I gave them, and the students got to test their creations to see how effective their webs were at catching the spiders. And we were cheering each other on as their webs were successful. That was really, really great activity. Another thing that we did in our classroom was a Design It. Design Its are something I created that correspond with literature books. And so we'll read a picture book and then design something according to that story. And my students really love these, and I love them having an opportunity to be creative. I feel like a lot of times in school we focus on rote memory or being mathematically inclined or being someone who loves literature. And I want my students to love all of those things, but I also want them to see themselves as creatives. So much of life is about problem solving and being creative. And so I want to give them a chance to be able to show off all kinds of intelligence, and creativity is a form of intelligence. And so every Friday, I give them something called a Design It, and it's where they have a blank piece of paper except for a couple of details, and their job is to design something. So it could be design a billboard, or design a car, design a video game, or design a sneaker. They love the challenge of using their imagination to create something completely unique and personal. So in the vein of Halloween coming up, my students made design a monster team. And so they had almost like a bookshelf with a collection of little monsters on the page with blank boxes. And so their job was to make their own unique monsters to fill in the monster team. They loved it, and it was so fun to hear their creativity, them talk about like why they made a pizza monster, or a cookie monster, or a donut monster. Some made like character monsters, and it was really, really cute to see their enthusiasm and excitement for sharing their designs. Then this weekend, I personally had a lot of fun exploring more of my local area. I went to our Botanical Gardens, and they had a scarecrow exhibit. They had an Edgar Allan Poe scarecrow, so it was of course called Edgar Allan Crow. They had a beekeeper scarecrow and all kinds of fun ones, a Parisian scarecrow who had a French bread in its pocket, and it was really fun to be out and about and see the beauty of the area. And then I went for a hike with my sister and went to a secluded park that has a beautiful little pond that was really serene. And I think it's so good, especially because as teachers, our jobs are so personal and relational. It's good, but it's really tiring. And I am actually naturally more introverted, so I get energy from being alone and recharging. And so this weekend was just what I needed to get out into the beauty of the world and to have moments of quiet and calm, reflective nature. Was just good for my soul. And I was really happy to be able to recharge this weekend in that way. Well, thank you for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and you know that you are deeply loved and very much appreciated.